Namaskar, my dear friends. So let us try to understand the relay working principles. So in this session, we will try to understand how the relay is working, what is the working methods, and we will see some of the examples also based on relay circuits. Okay. So let us first try to understand what is relay. So you can see one of the relay I have taken G2R. So you don't have to worry about the part number, but we will try to understand what it is actually. So it is double pole double throw. It means this is double pole. One pole is here and one pole is here. Okay. So what is happening is this guy is getting this side and this side also it will go. Okay. So how it happens? So let us say this is my coil. Okay. So this will be like this. It will be a coil kind of thing. Okay. So once you power this up, let us say I am going to give it 12 volt and this will be grounded. Okay. So what will happen once you power it up and the path is complete, then this will get charged up, and by charging it will get excited, and once it get excited, then wherever the coil is there, this pole is there, the switch is there, right? So this will go to get reflected to the other one. Okay. So this pin number 3 is right now connected to pin number 2. So what will happen as soon as this power supply is there here and it gets grounded, it means this coil got excited and it will throw this pole to here. Okay. So pin number 4 will get connected. Understood? And same way pin number 6 will get connected to pin number 5. So this will disconnect. Understood? So this is the main working principle. So what is the advantage of this? Advantage is, let us say it is connected to some input signal. Okay. And it is connected to some output signal or let's say this is connected to some output signal. Okay. And this is connected to, let us say, something like this. Okay. So what is going to happen? This input signal this input signal will get connected through pin number 3 and it will be going to pin number 4, and this path will go to, let us say this is my R1, this is my R2. I'm just giving an example. It can be anything. It can be line or like some other applications. So through this path it is going to get connected, and this pin number 5 is now going to get connected to pin number 6 and going to this out pin. Understood? So this input to output, you have taken a complete path through this pole through. Understood? So this is the main working principle of relay. Understood? Same way there are some other configurations also. Let us try to understand some other configuration. So this is single pole double throw. Okay. So this is just one pole you can see, and it is double throw, means one is this side, one is this side. Understood? So if you want, you can utilize two applications, but what we'll do right now is, once you are going to give a power to this and this will get grounded, in that case this coil, this is the coil. Okay. So this coil will get charged or excited, and once it get excited, the switch is connected right now on pin number 2 will get connected to pin number 3. Understood? And what will happen? Let us say some of the signal is connected at pin number 3, let us say input signal. Okay. And this is my output. Okay. So what will happen? Earlier the input signal is not connected to the output signal through this path. So our aim is, what is our aim? Once the relay gets switched on, this pole should get connected to pin number 3, and once it gets connected to pin number 3, this is the path it is going to get completed. So this is very simple work. So how we are going to do this particular circuit design, that we'll try to understand. Let us take one more last example to understand the throwing of the switches based on the excitement of the coils. All right. So let us take one more example. This is double pole single throw. Okay. So in this, what is going to happen is, once this is going to, let's get powered up, you can see what is the voltage level of this requirement based on the data sheet. Right now I am going to give you a a simple voltage, 12 volt or let's say 5 volt, whatever voltage is there, that we can give it. And now it is going to get grounded to complete this coil charging. So once this coil gets charged, then what will happen? This pin number 3 at this side will get connected to pin number 4. Similar to that, this pin number 6 will get connected to pin number 5. Okay, so once you complete the parts of the coil, this is the thing that is happening. Now what will happen? Let us say this is connected to my input and this is connected to my output. So this input will have, not this way. Let us say this was connected to my input line and this was connected to my output line. Okay, no, the other way around. It will get connected to, let us say this is output. So what is going to happen now? See, this is now very easy. Let us say this is my input line connected at pin number 3 and this is my output line connected to pin number 4. So when it is not working, the you know like this relay is not excited. So what is happening? This pin number 3 is not connected to pin number 4 and this path is not complete. Got it? Now once it get excited by connecting this 12-volt supply, then this will go and get connected here. Got it? Similar to that, let us say this is my another input 1 and this is my output 1. So what will happen? This will also get connected here. So pin number 6 will get connected to pin number 5 and the path will get complete. So this is how you are going to make use of relay coil excitement and send the switches to the required poles. Got it? So let us take an example which we had used in our application, where this is the particular relay that is used. Okay, so this is the relay that is being used. Now the color that I am going to use is this one. So you can see this is the switch that is connected to, let us say this is my pin number 1 2 3 4 5 and then 6 7 8. Okay, now you can see pin number 7 is connected to pin number 8, right? And signal 1 is connected to pin number 7 and signal 2 is connected to pin number 4. Now what is going to happen? I have connected one diode. So basically what happens is you have given a signal of 12-volt signal. So 12-volt power supply is there. Now suppose this MOSFET is not working. So this is N-channel MOSFET which is not working right now because enable is not given. So what will happen? This is not conducting. If this is not conducting, the voltage whatever is coming here will not go through this because path is not complete. Got it? Now let us say this enable signal is given here. This enable signal is given. So what will happen? The gate will get charged up and this MOSFET will start working. So once MOSFET starts working, then this particular path will start working. So in this way, the coil will get excited after getting charged. So what will happen? This charged coil will now make sure that this pin number 7 switch will get reflected to pin number 6. Similar to that, pin number 4 switch will get reflected to pin number 5. So they have changed the position from 3 to 5. Got it? Similar to that, they have changed position from 8 to 6. Got it? So this is how it is done. Now you can see both the pins have changed the path from the pin number 7 is now not connected to 8, it is connected to 6. Similar to that, pin number 4 is not connected to 3, pin number 4 is now connected to 5. So what is happening? This signal 1 is going to go through pin number 7, now get sorted to pin number 6. So it is going to this path and through this path coming to the load or something, and then going to pin number 5 and coming back towards pin number 4 with the signal SG2. Okay, so signal 2, this is the output. So whatever signal you had entered here, the signal output is ready to come. Got it? Earlier there was no other way to reach to here because pin number 6 and pin number 5 were isolated because pin number 7 was not connected and pin number 4 was also not connected, right? So this is the way you can make it enable. Now the use of this particular freewheeling diode is, whenever this is off, this will help us to, this will help the coil to get it dissipated, the power get dissipated immediately so that it will get discharged. Got it? So this is how this freewheeling diode works. Similar to that, let's take another example. Another example is there like this. And what is going to happen is there is a input line that is going to go into pin number 3, and this is going to get connected. Right now it is connected to pin number 5. Okay, and there is output line which is going to go to the destination. So our aim is to switch this particular pin to this side. Got it? So on the pin number 4, so what will happen? Same way, I have put one enable signal here. So either like through a microcontroller or through the gate driver or whatever it is, you can put it. So it is simple. So that's why we can utilize simple microcontroller signal after some buffer or something, or inverting buffer or something like that. And based on that, what will happen? This is my drain, this is my source, this is my gate, right? So once you give an enable signal, this gate will get charged up and this will start working. So once it starts working, the path of this coil gets completed, and in this way this coil gets charged. So once the coil gets charged of this relay, what will happen? This will try to throw the switch to the other pin. So it will be thrown here. And what will happen? This pin number 3 will get connected to pin number 4. Got it? And this way, this input signal is going to get connected to the pin number 4, which is the output signal. And this is the way my path is completed. So the very useful thing the relay does is, the input is disconnected when the power is not there at the coil, and when it is powered up, whichever the desired line that we want to connect, this is how it is getting connected. So I'm sure now with these many examples and these many clear ideas, you would have understood what is the relay and how it works. What is the voltage level that you can connect on this particular thing, that is depending on the data sheet of the relay. So once you see your data sheet, you will be able to understand whether it requires 6 volt, or let's say 9 volt, or let's say 5 volt, or even 12 volt, or maybe like it can require 24 volt also. It may not uh, it is not necessary that you have to connect only 12 volt. There is a possibility that you have to connect some AC voltage also. So there are AC relays also. So AC DC relays are also there. So right now I have explained you DC relay, and this is the way you can design your circuit. And this diode is a must to make sure that the coil get de-energized. Okay, once the signal is disabled, like this MOSFET is disabled, what will happen? There will be a charge across this coil, and that charge uh, must have to be dissipated through this path. Okay, so this is the path that it will take once this is not working. Okay, so once MOSFET is not working, this path it will take to get it discharged. And in the meantime, as soon as this gets disabled, the switch at this position number 4 will again come back to position number 5. So there is something called as normally open and normally closed. Okay, so normally closed is the default position. Okay, and this is the energized position. Okay, so what will happen is, like normally closed, so earlier where it was, let me just see again. So you can see earlier it was connected to pin number 5, right? So this is my normally closed position, right? Once it goes here, it will get connected at this particular position number 4. So alright guys, if you do have any questions or anything regarding this particular relay operation and how it gets energized, what is the parameter for this particular MOSFET to select, you can select a simple MOSFET for this particular path completion. Let's say 2N7002K. Okay, so this is the one of the best MOSFET for your utilization. You can utilize it from Nexperia. Okay, and for relays, there are a lot of companies like Omron is there, and then Panasonic is there. So I have used these two companies relays in our client circuit designs, and we have a lot of application in medical devices like oxygen generators, or ECG, or pacers, or even defibrillators. So there are a lot of relays are required, because we don't want the input get connected to the output line, and that's where these relay are very useful. Okay, so thank you so much.